Therefore, interreligious understanding can contribute a great deal to the problem of the hour. Now, on the scientific side of this matter, we find a much greater unity. Scientists have a tendency to admire each other almost inordinately. They are very fond of their own research projects, and they're busy as beavers from the time they graduate from the university until they retire, working with some specific situation that entrances them, engages their attention, and dominates their lives. Therefore, the scientist is a dedicated man. But the question is, to what is he dedicated? He is largely dedicated to his own specialization, and he has become a violent and prominent defender of the scientific way of life. To him, this is everything. Now, in order to make science have everything to appear as he wishes it, he has come into conflict with religion, and in this fight, religion has lost as far as he is concerned. He has placed science as the new religion of all men. Instead of it coming from the prophets in the sky, it comes now from the laboratory and the research groups. And these groups are convinced that they have the answers to everything, and if there are a few points that are not quite settled, they're working on them. They will get them in due time. So that science now considers itself to be the panacea for world ignorance. It also has proved quite an advantage industrially and economically, so that it has become almost the perfect concept of success. It is a success that does not depend upon morality or ethics. Depends entirely upon the use of the human mind to solve the riddles and problems of natural existence. I talked many years ago to a prominent physicist, University of California in Berkeley, about some of their researches in atomics. And I asked him why and how they could do these things without realizing that they were endangering the survival of society. And he was very simple and plain about it. He said, "We are scientists. We find things. We do not use them. We do not tell you how to use them. You handle them. We give you the skills, and you use them as you please. The moral responsibility is with you and not with us." Well, it may have consoled him, but it was a pretty hollow argument, for the reason that when you place a dangerous weapon in a person's hands, you have certain responsibility if that person uses it wrong, because actually you have provided him with the means of destruction.
I'll pause it right there. I find that fascinating, and I have nothing to contribute to that other than just to totally agree. And this is what I mean when I talk about science as being almost a religion. I mean, he puts it so well, and I could never put it as eloquently as he can. We all respect science, like he says. All the things science has brought us are respectable, awesome things, but the religion has their own cult. The scientists are the new bishops and the new priests, and we give way too much credence to what we think is true, and or should I say what we're told is true about life, and we kind of put everything in the hands of other people, no matter who we are. But it's kind of an interesting concept. We'll just continue for a minute and see where it goes.
There is responsibility in the revelation of matters which are too dangerous to be suitable for public consideration. But anyway, the scientist has relieved himself, in many instances at least, of all moral and religious responsibilities. He may be personally more or less a religious man. His family may go to church. He may be sending some of his children to parochial schools because he dislikes the present situation in the public school. He has a certain code of his own. As one of them told me, he said, "I am a scientist 6 days a week and a religionist on Sunday." He doesn't allow, however, Sunday to impose upon any of the other days. So therefore, we find here in science a very highly skilled, intellectual, mental, experimental form of life, which, however, is without any broad concept of anything beyond physical existence.
Well, there it is, right there. It has a wide scope of thought, except for it has no consideration of reason for physical existence, except for that it just is. And that's the gripe that scientists and creationists have an argument, or should I say evolutionists and creationists have against each other. And one thing I heard that really put it in perspective was that he says, I think Manly Hall said it, and I heard it earlier when I was listening, and he said, you know, the religious man has faith that he can never prove is true, and the atheist has a non-belief that he can never prove is true. You can't prove either one, and you'll never prove one another, but yeah, Manly Hall puts some stuff really eloquently, and he has some great stuff. I just try to share the parts that are the most important, and I think the ones that contain the most information. So, time to shave the beard. It's gonna be summertime, but maybe I'll leave it for a year. Turn into a big ass like ZZ Top looking motherfucker. Peace.